Guy coming back here with another Kaspa video.
Mike Tyson, the like and subscribe button.
Thanks for that, Mike. Well, price is down, market's down. I think the overall market is down about 1.5%. Kaspa's down 3.4%. And hash rate you can see is 1.43 exahash. We're going to take a little bit of a look at the national debt. I like this U.S. debt clock. You can see we're at 36.4 trillion. Now they have a Doge clock. I guess that's how much money that the Department of Government Efficiency has saved, 31 billion basically. But you can see it's going to be tough for them cutting it all the way down. You got 1.6 trillion on Medicare, 1.5 trillion basically on Social Security, about 900 billion almost on defense, and then 1 trillion on the interest of the debt alone. And you can see that they're taking in about 5 trillion in U.S. federal tax revenue. There might be a couple other ways that the United States makes money, but you can go in the time machine and let's see what they're projecting for 2029. They're projecting 1.4 interest on the debt for that year alone, and they're projecting that the debt will be 48.1 trillion, up from 36.4 trillion. We'll see how it shakes out. Now, there's a lot of things on X about Trump getting rid of income taxes. I don't know if he's exactly said that he wants to get rid of income taxes, but he's talking a lot about between 1870 and 1913, when basically there was no income tax. Everything was mostly tariffs that supported the government. Now, let's just dive into that a little bit further. Right now, you can see just this fiscal year so far, which I think started in October, has already got $710 billion worth of deficit. Now, right here, you can see that this shows 2024. The government spent $6.75 trillion, and they had revenue of $4.92 trillion, which had a deficit of $1.83 trillion. The year before, $6.1 trillion, $4.4 trillion. So they're spending about $6-7 trillion, and they're only bringing in $4.5-5 trillion. So what would that look like for tariffs? Now, right here, this is showing the United States only brings in about $4 trillion worth of goods. So it would take about 100% tariffs on every import. Now, obviously, that would lead to higher consumer prices. Now, if you're a pretty fair earner, say you made like 100 grand and you didn't buy very much stuff and you're frugal, you're a minimalist, so the amount of money you're saving in income tax is greater than the amount of money that all your goods cost, I guess you'd come out all right. Poor people would probably get hammered here. But it's just showing that maybe overall in Trump's administration, they cut government spending, they shrink the government a little bit, they lower taxes, and they increase tariffs a little bit, but there's not going to be a complete shift, at least in my opinion, because they'd basically have to have a 100% tariffs on all the goods, and that probably would be too much disruption for the world economy, the U.S. economy. There could be some slow shift in that direction. I don't know. I just seen a lot of people on X posting about no income taxes. Obviously, no one or everyone would love to not pay income taxes, but the reality of shifting to a system where the majority of the money that the government's getting is income taxes versus tariffs, when it would take pretty much 100%, and that would still leave the deficit. They would still have to borrow money if they're able to shrink the government spending down, which I think they will some, but I don't think they're going to bring it to a surplus. If they're lucky, maybe in the fourth year of Trump's term, they could maybe get to a surplus, but most likely they're going to keep printing money every year. It all tied back into Kaspa and crypto on some level, in my opinion, when you have a decentralized proof of work with the max supply. And we're just going to finish this video off with a look from Kaspa KII. They had a post today on X that said, in the world of blockchain, cryptocurrency, where the promise of decentralization of financial freedom was once heralded, is a new dawn for global finance. A dark shadow has encroached upon this vision. This shadow is cast by a trio of actors, regulators, crypto companies, in the chorus of self-congratulatory consultants and paid shills, who together form a horrid blight on the industry. Let's examine this. I don't think it's it's more of like an open question or an open call to action rather than a thread. So I think that there's a lot of things going on right now, but you can see a lot of people like to push certain narratives. And, I'm just sitting back here, letting it unfold. I think it's going to be a good year. I don't think that there's going to be some complete drastic shift with the income tax and the tariffs. I think that Trump's going to raise some tariffs, most likely probably on China, and it might just be a little bit on certain goods, maybe a blanket one against with China, and he's probably going to lower taxes. If you watch Clear Value Tax, he said that the most of the Trump taxes breaks are still in from his first administration. They carried through. Some, I guess, are expiring this year, maybe next year, in the next couple of years. I know some are expiring this year. And that guy does taxes for a living, and he said it did save the average person money. Maybe it saved rich people more money, but it did save the average person money. So I could see Trump trying to keep those and maybe even improve those. So, and yeah, maybe his rich buddies are also getting a tax break, but the average person gets a tax break. They'll try to bump up tariffs a little bit, and that's probably the way it's going to be. They're probably going to have to print money, and at some point there'll probably be quantitative easing, and we should see some more liquidity flowing back into the market. Just got to ride this wave. This DeepSeek seemed like it threw a curveball, or it's just FUD that the media is using so that the rich people can push the prices down and buy in and basically take money from people. So we'll see. Thanks for watching and have a good day.